Hey, good morning everybody. Sean with Back2Good. Just giving you those behind the scenes updates, the little things we do that don't make it to the main channel. And also an update about yesterday. We were all ready to go down to the property, get some things done, and then out of nowhere a red cell appears. The weather in Arkansas is always changing, so we were down at the property, tools, chainsaws, clippers, everything ready to go, and the thunder and lightning kicked off like that, and it starts pouring. So Rachel had, the cameras out. They can't get wet, super wet, so we ran back to the car, and the road just started to become a river there because there was so much rain coming down. So unfortunately we headed back to the campsite over on the Gemstead there. The driveway at the end of the road there was a lake. So the puddles I showed in the video yesterday, nothing compared to what it is now. So we got a bunch of rain again. I had some time this morning. I found a really good deal on something that's going to help us clear the property. So let me turn you around real quick. I picked up these barrels in Dardanelle. I'm going to go ahead and cut the lids off of them, and we're going to have burn barrels to help burn a lot of that brush that can't be chipped. A lot of that brush, it's already all dried up. So it's not really recommended to chip that stuff when it's really dry. So we're going to make burn barrels out of these burn barrels, or out of these barrels rather. We're going to make burn barrels out of these barrels. Say that 10 times fast. Just a quick inside scoop here, picking these up, hauling them back home on my little trailer there, and we're gonna hopefully get these cut open today. Might just take the grinder and use a cutoff wheel to go all the way around the top. I don't know. I got a multi-tool, I got a sawzall. We'll get them off there one way or the other. We'll get them opened up, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then hopefully this rain is going to let up so we can get down to the property today, and we can do some work today, whether it's burning something or trimming back some more brush, getting them trees cut up. So yeah, do appreciate all the wonderful comments, all the blessings, all the prayers on the previous video about my health update, the weight loss. There was two things actually that were addressed in the comments that I didn't really touch on, so I'll go ahead and touch on those right now. There was a couple questions about what I'm eating. It's meat, so we're doing beef, chicken, pork, fish, eggs, salt, and drinking water. Trying to stay away from the condiments. That's real hard, but if I just can't handle it, I have used just mustard. There's no carbs or calories in that. The one when it doesn't say natural flavoring on it. Apple cider vinegar a couple times in the mayonnaise. You can make homemade mayonnaise with bacon grease and just yolks. But I think I'll go without the apple cider vinegar again on that. And then the other thing was like Frank's Red Hot sauce. It's carb free, sugar free, and trying to stay away from those natural flavoring things because I hear bad things about that stuff. So yeah, so that was one of the questions. Got a couple times about what am I eating. As far as the fish goes, just canned tuna, canned salmon. Not breaking the bank here on exotic stuff. As far as the beef goes, it's chuck roast, chuck steaks. So yeah, chicken, leg quarters, thighs, chicken breasts, legs, just the normal scoop pork, the Copa pork steaks, and make pork chops and some shoulder pork butt roast. So stuff like that. Trying to keep it a little bit of variety. And then the eggs, I mostly eat hard-boiled eggs. When we do occasionally fry the eggs, but do fry them, it's in the butter. And then salt and everything, making sure I'm drinking plenty of water. The other thing that was addressed was with all the protein I'm getting, I'm feeling actually quite a bit stronger. Like my biceps and my arms are firming up quite a bit more than they were in the weeks past. And so yeah, that, you know, the diet is definitely helping with muscle tone there. And so I got people are walking in Dollar General looking at me like I'm all crazy. Who's that guy talking to over there? So, all right, let me get out of this parking lot. I'm gonna head back home, and we're gonna work on getting these barrels ready to make burn barrels out of them. So I'm gonna show you that, and we'll see you later. Thank you so much. All right, we're back. It's been raining all day. It's still sprinkling a little bit, but we're going to get these 55-gallon drum barrels off the trailer, and we're going to remove those lids. We're going to show you it's super easy. We're going to just use a grinder and a hammer to take those lids off. We're not going to cut it all the way around. We're going to do it the simple way. And so let's get those unloaded, and we'll start taking those lids off. As you can see, the end of the driveway is a little bit of a lake there, and it's still raining, but let's get these barrels off there. Let's go. So we're going to take this grinder with a grinding wheel. We're going to go all around this seam edge right here and grind that all off. And we should just be able to take a hammer and pop that lid in and get it out. Easy peasy. So let's go on time lapse here, because I'm sure you don't want to hear all the grinding noise. Right, there we go. Just ground around all the way around the edge. Beat the lid in with the hammer. We'll get that lid out of there. But super smooth on the edge here, so we don't have any cut edges. That way you don't got to cut the top off. Makes it much easier to utilize this. I'm going to put some vents in this on the side all the way around, and then we'll go down and test it out. Alright, so next we're going to put some lines on this, just to give us some guidelines. We're going to put cuts in the barrel in the top, middle, and bottom section all the way around, about 6 cups. Try to give it that airflow of like a vortex. So we'll make our marks here. They don't got to be super straight. Then after we get our cuts, we're going to beat it on the right side of every cut so the angle of the airflow is going the same way. Grinding wheel to take the seam off the top. Now we're going to use a cutoff wheel to cut the slats in the side. So we got our cuts all the way around. We're going to beat on the right side with the hammer to open it up. Right side of every slat we made. All right, so you can see we got our slats vented, we got it pushed in, so when the wind blows, the airflow will kind of go around in a vortex there. We got it slatted all the way around. Last thing I'm going to do is drill some holes in the bottom so some water can drain out if it gets left out in the rain, because I'm sure it will. We got our rain holes drilled in the bottom, just letting rainwater out. That's not really the vents. The vents are the slats that we cut all the way around here to let air flow through in a vortex. So it's sprinkling again, but I'm gonna go test this out on the property. Come along. All right. The branches, the woods, they're really wet, but we got it burning. It's burning all the way down at the base there. You can see fire through the vent cracks there, ever so slightly. Eventually that paint on the outside of this burn barrel is going to come off and it'll look nice and rustic. But you can see this is the advantage of having a burn barrel instead of burning wood just right on the ground. You get concentrated heat. It goes up quick. You can get through a lot of brush this way. It's safer because, you know, it's contained in that barrel. You know, lighting this giant pile of brush on fire is a safety issue. So I I got one made today. I got 3 more to make. And yeah, all this old dried up brush, we are going to burn it. When we get green stuff, we're going to chip it. We mostly want grass right here anyway, so we're not going to put mulch down right here. But Rachel came along to check it out. Say hi, Rachel.
Hello.
All right, we got a good fire going. It's sprinkling, it's misting, and it's working. So yeah, there you go. Do it yourself. Burn barrel, vortex burn barrel. Get those slats going in. Make sure you pound it down on one side so the airflow is spinning around in there. But yeah, we're good to go. We're going to be burning some stuff. So, well, just coming down to check out the creek while we're here. It's definitely high. It's got a lot of water in it flowing there. Gosh, so much debris to clear up. It got shoved into there, so got lots of work to do. But yeah, that creek is flowing good. It's pretty exciting that all the water, just the way our property is, slopes down into this creek.
Yeah, I look forward to being able to pump out that water one day and fill up our IBC totes with it, and we'll have a filter hooked up to it and everything. It's going to be so sweet.
Yep. It just won't stop raining, folks. Sure is making everything green.
Yeah, it's like a forest.
Yeah.
Just
Definitely a dense forest back through there. That'll be a lot of work in the future. We're going to focus on this side of the creek first. Get that camper area cleared out, get pushed back. Got to get all that brush cleared up. And but we want to get the camper down here, and then we'll work on that brush. We'll do that after, but got that burn barrel going, so it's going to make things a lot easier, a lot safer to get rid of a lot of dry brush rather than just lighten it up in the middle of all these woods. I know we talked about before naming the creek. I thought I came up with a pretty clever name the other day. Laughing Frog Creek, because frogs around here seem to be like they're laughing at you. They're like, ha ha ha. Maybe not. Back2Good Creek. Winding Creek. I did check. There's no creek on the map. This is a dry creek. It's only runs when it rains. But for the last 6 months, it's had water in it.
Cobblestone Creek.
Cobblestone Creek?
Yeah.
I like that one too. So
there's a bunch of cobblestone at the bottom of it everywhere, so especially down at the south end down there, I'd like to show them that once it dries up.
Yeah.
It's like lined with cobblestone.
Well, maybe we'll do a poll. Do it on the main channel. Back2Good Creek, Laughing Frog Creek, Cobblestone Creek.
We've got a bunch of other good names too. I'd have to go back through and read the comments.
Okay. Well, we got to get that done soon, or maybe when we get down here to the property.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get going here.
I was thinking about calling it Havana Holler.
Havana Holler for our property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that name.
Because it's a holler means valley, and we live in the valley between Mount Magazine and Ouachita Mountain, so it would be, and Havana's the name of the town, so I mean Havana Holler. I thought that sounded pretty cool.
Yeah. The only other name I thought of was the Sanctuary, but
yeah, I don't know.
maybe we can get some suggestions in the comments about naming our property.
Right.
I do like Havana Holler though, so I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah. I want it to have a significance, you know. And I don't know. I mean, it is our sanctuary, but yeah, it's definitely a lot greener and denser.
Yeah.
With all this rain.
It's definitely peaceful back here.
Yeah. It's definitely much quieter. We have a lot more trees between us and the highway than they do at the Gemstead, so you can definitely hear the traffic more. You can still hear it here, but a lot faint. It's a lot fainter than up there.
Yeah.
And it's just, unless we're running saws or anything, it's much quieter, like normal.
Right.
You can hear the birds a lot back here. So they were actually too loud the other day. I had to turn the volume down in the video because they were being so loud.
Yeah, there's one bird squawking pretty good. We get so many beautiful birds here. Cardinals, canaries, blue jays.
Yeah, all kinds of pretty birds. I can't wait to get some bird feeders and
Yep.
some cool videos of them. Hopefully.
Some hummingbird
Set a security camera up right by one so that we can get some cool video.
right. Maybe make a outhouse for that owl that's around here.
We could do it. I call them owl boxes. We can make an owl box. Those are good for keeping snakes and mice away.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll have a pet owl.
Yeah, there's owls
Back2Good owl
in the area, so we'll make an owl box and maybe it'll come protect our area.
All right, cool. Well, let's go check that burn barrel and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, let's go. At least we got something done today.
Yep, it's raining, but we got something done. Just want to show this real quick. The ditch on the side of our property, it does flow this way across the driveway. The driveway, it's got a lot of rock in it, so it's still very hard. It's not like, you know, the driveway we're using over there where it's a slick, muddy mess. So I was able to back in here with no worries. But you can see it's going across the driveway, draining down into that little ravine right there that goes down into the creek. The creek does run all the way up this edge of our property right here. And then it comes across from there from our neighbor's property, kind of up in that corner. There's a very old video where I got to operate Big Bertha on that corner over there, and that's where that creek comes out from the neighbor's property into the one that comes down into ours, runs all the way down this way and back all the way through to the edge of our property over that way. But just wanted to show we are going to get gravel down in this driveway area right here, and I think eventually we'll get some kind of culvert to go across here, because we're not grading that all the way back. We're just going to deal with the water coming this way, and we'll address this part of the driveway and let it keep going that way into the creek. All right, everybody, there's your do-it-yourself vortex burn barrel. Hopefully my instructions were pretty easy to follow. You know what, Rachel?
Which on?
It's always a great day in Arkansas.
Sure is.
Bye!
We're burning something, guys. Woohoo!
It's raining, we're burning stuff. Yay! Bye!
Have a good day.